Radha Shivasani Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Yeah, you can come forward. Hare Krishna. So today our presentation is titled A Visit to the Other Side. What is the other side? We'll see. I was away for a very long time, some engagements, but back in time for the Yatra. So how many of you are coming on the Yatra? Okay, anyway it will be recorded, others will see. So today we're discussing visiting the other side. In other words, Mayapur and Jagannath Puri, Dham, Tirth Yatra. So on top you see two pictures. So what are these pictures? We'll see. Okay. Okay, now speaking about going to the other side, there's a common conception of portals. This word you can see here, going to the portal. It's a common conception people have that, in movies, books, and popular literatures, and even maybe in science, they're looking for this, where one person can go to another place, another reality, another dimension through a gateway. Okay, books like long time ago was written a book called Alice in Wonderland, same kind of idea. And movies like Matrix, Stargate, they speak about another dimension, parallel universe, or alternate reality where we can go easily through a gateway, portal. The word port means when you come into, like for example, a country, you enter a country through a port. In a computer you have ports. So, a way to enter into something. Okay. When we are saying here, a visit to other side, that can be many things. Okay, what we are speaking about, the context here, is we are speaking about another, you can say another dimension. Okay, now we'll explain it here. In this world, people like this idea that there's another place out there which is perfect and complete and very happy. They imagine, and how everyone has their own imagination, searching for a perfect world, a happy world. So the reason is that there's so much suffering and imperfection in this world, people want to escape the suffering. So they're looking for another place. Unconsciously, why are they looking for other planets to move to? They're thinking it will be better. Here there's so much suffering. No quarrel, no suffering, and full of resources that everyone should have enough. So is there a place like that? Well, one idea is the fact that we are searching for a perfect world means it must be there. It is there. Otherwise, for example, people are searching for happiness, means happiness is there. And if there's suffering, there's happiness. If there's darkness, there's light. If there's a world like this, then there's another world which is happy, where everyone is, having full resources, nothing lacking. So actually in the Vedas, there is mention of another place. And as I mentioned many times in our presentations here, mention of another place where we are supposed to be from. An alternate spiritual dimension. Vedas explain about it, Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita also in few verses there's a mention. And yes, that place is perfect, complete, no suffering and happiness. And it is the abode of Krishna. It is the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, the place where God resides. That place is perfect. We fell from that place after turning away. Yes, question, you want to comment something?
I was strong belief that we humans are not searching for a perfect world.
Okay.
Rather, we are trying to make the world perfect.
Well, we're not searching for perfect world. Then why are they looking for life on other planets, in the moon?
That's the curiosity of the human mind. They're finding something new, but not a perfect.
But not just finding, they want to settle, see if there's oxygen and go there. Okay, look, I'll mention your point. It will be the first question when we finish. Okay, thank you for your comment. Actually, it's good to have feedback, you know. In between, you can say things also. But this question, it will be involved, so I'll go at the end. Okay. Okay, so now, what's mentioned in the Mundak Upanishad? That Aye Divyani Dhamani Tashtuhu. Oh, you who are situated in Divya Dham, in the spiritual world before. So we were situated there, we came here. Big tragedy, big tragedy. We left the perfect place and came here. Here where there is birth, death, disease, old age. Bhagavad Gita says, the four evils of material life, which everyone will go through. If you're rich or poor, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Doshana, Darshana. Four things we must suffer: birth, death, disease, old age. There's been no success in trying to stop it. So now, when we fell from paradise, from the perfect place, we came to this place, and all connection and all memory was lost from that place. As Bhagavad Gita says, Avrityam Jnanam Etena Jnanino. We are known as Jnanino, the ones with full knowledge about ourselves and God, but it got covered. Avrityam Jnanam Etena Jnanino. So our knowledge became covered by Maya. Now we don't know who we are. You know, there, if you go out, you see dog thinks he's a dog, cat thinks he's a cat, someone he's thinking he's Indian, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, American. We are not, we are souls. But we forgot because of this covering. So now, deep in our subconscious, there's some deep memory that there's a place, it's very happy, and we are looking for that. And so unconsciously, when making movies, writing books, they keep speaking about it. And as scientists, we keep searching for that. Okay, we are trying to find this place again. And it comes out in our art forms and movies. The perfect place with happy people, no scarcity. So that place is mentioned in the Vedas in detail. This is called the spiritual world, or Vaikuntha, a place of no suffering. Vaikuntha means no suffering. Now, each of us, if we imagine a perfect place, you don't define it differently. You know, an alcoholic will say there's a river of alcohol, it's free, that's his paradise. Someone else may say, no, there's river of milk, nectar. Actually, we are not perfect. So we dream of our perfection. But the Vedas give the perfect place exactly what it is. And that's actually the reality, how it is. So there's full information given in the Vedas, narrations, descriptions about these places, and as well as the nature of that place and how to go there. But of course, people aren't reading Shastra nowadays. This is the issue. So there's no knowledge about it. But actually going there is the goal of life, according to Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas, by taking up a certain lifestyle, a spiritual lifestyle, and becoming free from this suffering of this world. And Srimad Bhagavatam mentions, going there is the perfection of life. And if one dies and comes back to this world, this is known as a failure, no matter whatever material success we have in our life. Okay, now we're talking about the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, there are different sections and levels. Because there are different worshippers of different forms of God. So they all go to that place where the worshipable Lord is situated. I'm talking about avatars. There are different avatars. So descriptions are given in, for example, Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 15. There they're describing spiritual Lord, Vaikuntha. Now, we have this drawing. It's very hard to depict a spiritual dimension with art in material form. But this drawing, we can get some idea if the drawing is done by a devotee under guidance of a acharya, which is this drawing is done is by a devotee who is under guidance of an acharya and who is a devotee of Vishnu. So from inside, if we take up any art form like writing a song, a poem, a book, and if we are devotees, we want to glorify God, He will inspire us to produce a very good work of art or writing. So now this drawing depicts some level of what it is now. So there's a text in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Vaikuntha planets is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original person, who can be understood through Vedic literature. He is full of uncontaminated goodness, with no place for passion or ignorance. He contributes religious progress for the devotees. In the Vaikuntha planets, the inhabitants fly in their aeroplanes, accompanied by their wives and consorts, and eternally sing of the character and activities of God, which are always devoid of all inauspicious qualities. While singing glories of the Lord, they deride even the presence of the blossoming Madhavi flowers, which are fragrant and laden with honey. When the king of the bees hums in a high pitch, singing the glories of God, there is a temporary lull in the noise of the pigeon, the cuckoo, the crane, charpravak, the swan, the parrot, the partridge, and peacock. Such transcendental birds stop their own singing to simply hear glories of the Lord. So there's a long narration here, and this is describing. Now, for our reality and what we would expect of a perfect place, it may not match. But Bhagavad Gita explains that we are souls who are diseased right now. Diseased because our knowledge is covered, our consciousness is covered. We are not in spiritual consciousness. You can imagine a mad person, what he would think to be a good life if he's crazy. That I shouldn't wear any clothes, I should sleep in the day, wake up at night. He'll have his own idea. But the actual reality of what is perfection is given. Okay, so now we have descriptions. We have description of the spiritual world in general. But now we have abode of Krishna himself. Now I mentioned that in Vaikuntha there are many different avatars who have their own abode. You see, in Vaikuntha we have Jagannath Puri, Ayodhya, Nrsimhadev's abode, and Goloka. Goloka is Lord Krishna's abode. So there are different dhams within Vaikuntha. And in Brahma Samhita, it's explained that Goloka is the highest dham of all. Goloka namni nijadhani tale chatasya devi mahesha hari dhamasu teshu. Highest is Golokam, abode of Krishna, because he is known as Purna Purushottam. And then avatars come out in different forms from him. Now there's a description of Goloka. This is a very great thing. After taking birth in this world and not having a clue why we are here, what is the purpose, we somehow come into the literature, find out about the place where we are from and the reality of the spiritual world. And now there's a paragraph here explaining how it is in Goloka, which means we were all there at one time. So Lord Brahma, he became self-realized, he saw Goloka and he said some prayers. From that we have a picture of Goloka, Krishna's place. I worship the transcendental seat known as Shwetadeep, where as loving consorts, the Lakshmis in the unalloyed spiritual essence practice amorous service of the Supreme Lord Krishna as their only lover, where every tree is a transcendental purpose tree. In other words, every tree is a kalpavriksha. We can go there and ask for anything and we can get it. Where the soil is the purpose gem, and the soil, the sand is shiny like gems. Water is nectar. It says toyam amritam in Sanskrit. Whenever we drink the water, it tastes like nectar. Every word is a song. People don't speak to each other, they sing. Every gait is a dance. When people walk, they won't walk, they'll dance and walk and go. Flute is the favorite attendant. The supreme spiritual entities are all enjoyable and tasty. Numberless milk cows, Surabhi, Rabi Palayantam, there are so many Surabhi cows oceans of milk. There's a description given. Actually, this is in every religion, something similar is given. That realm is known as Goloka, only to very few self-realized souls in the world. Okay, so these are narrations. But the point is, okay, this is the spiritual world. Now the point is, how can we go there? Isn't the question is there? How can one go there? We are here in this material world glorifying, oh, it's so good, it's so nice. No birth, no death. How can we go to Goloka? It seems so hard. Why? Because to go there, one has to be qualified. We have to be qualified, free from material desires. Who is free from material desire? How can we reach that stage? It's very difficult. So what do we do? But there's a way, there's a way. How? Through the portal. We can go through the portal. Where are the portals? Where are the portals? Who can say? I want to see who's following. Where are the portals to go to the spiritual world? What do you think? ISKCON. You're saying? Dham. He got it. ISKCON's a portal. True. That's true. And as he said, Dham. Dhams are the portals. You remember what portals are? Portals are like a port. It means a place we can enter from one to another. Enter another place. So a dham, or holy place, is a portal. It's a place where we are in the material world, but there's a spiritual world. How can we connect? How can we connect to God and enter that spiritual place? Through the dham. What is another name for dham in Sanskrit? Oh, famous word which everyone knows. Holy place. What do you call it? Begins with T. Ah, exactly. Now, Tirtha, just try to do this. Look it up in the dictionary in Sanskrit. What is the actual meaning of Tirtha in Sanskrit? What? Portal, almost. Okay, I'll tell you. Tirtha means crossing point. I looked, even if you look, just put it in meaning of Tirtha, Google it. It will say crossing point. The point to cross. Okay, and then they give an English word, F-O-R-D. What is that? How do you pronounce? Ford. Ford means how to, the place where you can cross. Okay, let me explain you. In UK, they have a lot of cities names, you know. There's like Stratford, Watford, Ford. Why? Because these cities were located along the rivers, like Thames River. And ford means when the river's flowing, we cannot cross the river, it's too deep. But there's a place where you can cross, it's shallow. That's called a ford. So the city started there, so they could cross. So that's called a ford, because you can cross easily. So Tirtha means the same thing, where you can cross. But now we are talking about crossing into the spiritual world from the material world. You can do that in a Tirtha, because a Tirtha is a crossing point. So that is a Dham. Dham is a place where we can go and get access to spiritual energy much more than anywhere else. Even though we are not qualified, we are not able to. But what happens when avatars come? When Ram avatar came, Krishna, when Narasimha Dev comes, they come with their abode. Ayodhya Dham here is also in Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is Ayodhya, but it incarnated here. When the avatars come, they bring their Dham. Dwarka, Mathura, Ayodhya, these are dhams. So now, when these dhams come, they have different rules. They are not part of the material world. They have different properties. And these are Tirtha. This means it's a place where someone can go and very closely experience presence of Ram, Krishna. But there's a condition, I'll explain it. This is a special benediction for human society. We are at the present, in a very difficult, unfortunate situation. You know, we have this material body. Actually, the material body is full of suffering. We didn't realize, maybe you realize, that it will get sick, it will get old, then it needs sleep, then it gets disease, and we suffer so much. And if you die, another one comes, another one, and we're just suffering. We may not have realized, but this is the reality. This material world is a place where It's chiefly described in Gita as Dukhalaya Ashashvata, full of suffering. We had to come out, but it's not easy. So we practice sadhana and bhakti, but that's also difficult. But when we go to the Dham, we get a very big spiritual boost. So this is a great benediction for this material world, that although we are in material world, we are able to access this place. So, you know concept of an embassy, US embassy, British embassy. In the embassy, the rule of India won't apply. You understand how it is? Sometimes some people want to escape to a country, they just enter the embassy of another country. They cannot follow them in there. Police cannot go in. The rule of that place applies. So the Dham is an embassy of Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha has rules. So Ayodhya, Mathura, Vrindavan, Dwarka, going there, and Jagannath Puri. When you go there, the rule is different. We'll read about it. This is all given in Dham. So now, you notice Dhams are here in India. According to our karma and our Ichha, desire, everyone takes birth somewhere. So now Srimad Bhagavatam explains in 5th canto that whoever took birth in Bharat, this is because in past life they were Sukritina, pious, they did bhakti. So they got opportunity to be born here where all dhams, holy rivers and mountains and dhams are. But then they're going to Australia, America, USA. And the whole world is coming here from outside to take advantage of the dhams. So this is the speciality of birth, that the culture and the place one can easily practice bhakti and get liberated. This is the purpose here in India. But other places one can enjoy, and people want to enjoy, so they go to those countries. But of course we'll take birth again, we'll not leave here. Okay, so I mentioned that in Dhams you can experience God more powerfully, enter a spiritual consciousness, but not fully till we are fully pure, but still we get a good experience of spiritual world. Okay, so India is full of these different dhams. Okay, what is the nature of a dham? Many people go to dhams and they stay there for some time and they get so much benefit. So now through descriptions in Shastra, we understand the fundamental nature of a dham is different from the material world. You see, in the material world, when we suffer, it's our karma. But in the dham, if someone suffers, if someone gets sick, actually it's a form of purification. Karma is we're getting purified of karma. So, even measurement of the dham, you may see that this is the size, this is the square feet. This is like illusion, because in Goloka, for example, is limitless. Dhams are limitless, but they come to this material world, they seem to have a limit. So this is, actually they are unlimited. And they are not part of this material world. When pralaya happens, it's described, pralaya, when it happens, at the end of the existence, you know, there's expiry date in this universe also. So when that happens, everything is destroyed, but none of the dhams will be destroyed. And none of the people living there, they will go back to Vaikuntha. Destruction, pralaya does not happen there. These are different things we understand about dhams. Also, to speak about a dham, like if we speak about Jagannath Puri, Mathura, Vrindavan, Mayapur, if we speak, this is very powerfully spiritualizing, purifying. Speaking, thinking about, discussing, hearing, it's equivalent to hearing about Krishna. In the dhams, whatever devotion we do, bhakti, is, now everyone says a different figure, 1,000 times more powerful, 10,000 times more, I read different things, but the point is, it's much more powerful, whatever bhakti we do. The potency is greater, but we have to be careful, because any offenses we do, aparad, that is also very great. Many people, after going to dham, they get spiritually elevated and they begin to practice bhakti seriously, if we follow all the rules. So Shastra explains about this pralaya. Scientists call, even they are speculating, they say some big crunch will happen. There's a big bang, there'll be a big crunch, everything will be finished. So at that time, this whole material will be destroyed because it's material. But this is the proof that Dham is not material, it will not be destroyed. So there are guidelines how to enter the Dham, how to conduct ourselves, behave, everything, and how to avoid offenses. Now, if one does this and enters in a spiritual consciousness, then it has tremendous benefit to destroy our material. First of all, past sinful reactions are destroyed. Why do we suffer? We suffer because of karma, things we did in our past. So, things that we do, any spiritual activity destroys this karma. For example, when we bathe in Ganga, Yamuna, when we go to the Dham, we get purified. So purified, even just by walking or sleeping, they say that this is purification happens. So, but we have to follow certain rules. For example, we have to keep our mind in spiritual mood. For example, we chant japa, so we chant japa constantly. But if one starts to talk about material things and watch YouTube videos, then the mind is not on Krishna, then there's a potency in the Dham which will block us from entering the Dham. We will be inside, in other words, my physical body will be in the Dham, I'm roaming around, but we will not really be inside. That entrance will only be given to someone who is qualified. So in this way, when people enter the Dham, they enter with someone or people who know about this or who properly set their consciousness in a spiritual mood. Many people come like a tourist, tourist mood, and look for TV and watch the TV, and watch their phone. So they'll come, they'll get some benefit definitely, but they won't enter and get the full benefit. There's a whole method of entering. So when we enter, when we are chanting, we do kirtan, we have classes, we have lectures, and keep our mind always on these topics. And it may be hard for some of you because we are not used to that. We are used to a little bit of, watch a video, hear a song, talk something, see the news. But it will only be difficult for half a day or one day. After that you'll immerse and experience a level of happiness, very different from what you normally experience. So there's certain principles which we'll observe, how to be in the Dham. So we're going to explain you that later on. Okay, so how do we do this? As I mentioned, we chant japa, we speak about holy things, we look at the place and discuss what happened here. Krishna did this, or this is Jagannath Puri, even here this happened or that happened, like that. So,
Prabhuji,
yes?
like you said, dhams are portals which connect us to the limitless place.
Yeah, to the spiritual
like
world.
Golok.
Yeah.
So why does these dhams require resources from a limited world like ours?
Why does it require?
Resources from a limited
Resources. Well, you see, the nature of a Dham, it is fully spiritual. Okay. The Dham descends. But as mentioned, I'm going to show you one shloka. It's mentioned that there's a thin covering, material covering, which covers the Dham and makes it look like a normal place. And there's a reason for that. It says that some people who are not in the proper mood are not allowed in. So they'll just see like a normal village or place and people listening to film songs and all that. But there's a whole other, for example, in Vrindavan it is said, Krishna's Nitya Leela goes on daily. It never stopped. And people who are advanced, they see it. In Ayodhya also, in Jagannath Puri, these things are there. But now it looks like these are normal places. They're getting from Delhi, milk is coming and atta, and they're cooking like us, everything's like that. But these are externals. It's a difficult concept to explain. In one I'm trying to explain this point, that it's a different aspect, it's a different paradigm altogether. And if one wants to enter, we have to read the Shastra, for example, the Krishna's pastimes, what time, what goes on, this goes on, that goes on. And it looks like they're relying on material energy, but actually they're not part of the material world. We cannot see that till we advance and become a little more in spiritual consciousness.
That still didn't answer my question of why we are still requiring resources.
What do you mean by resources?
Like even for the small stuff, like maintaining cleanliness of these spiritual places, requires money.
So you mean money? It requires money. Yeah, as I said, it's camouflaged like a normal city and village. It camouflaged. Just like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he was eating, sleeping, he looked like a normal person. Krishna's avatar came as a normal man, looking like that. Now the dhams in Kali Yuga have taken this form. They look like some normal material place. It says it is to keep out atheists and people who are not spiritual. For example, it's a very deep thing. I didn't want to go very deep, and I'll mention some things. If you've gone to Vrindavan, you see many dogs, pigs, monkeys, and dirt. So Srila Prabhupada explained, in Kali Yuga there are many materialists. They come simply to destroy karma and to get punya, not for bhakti. So this external vision is for them. They will come and say, what a dirty place, I cannot be here, they'll go away. But still many people come who are very devotional and they go beyond that. So what you are saying, money and all this is external, it looks like that. But it's not. In the same way that you have people like Lord Ram Avatar came, it looks like Sita was stolen, but it was not. That was a Leela. You can never, goddess of fortune can never be stolen, Lakshmi. But then Shastra explains that actually what happened was, real Sita was, in Kurma Puran, real Sita was hidden, and Sita Chaya, imitation Sita went with Ravan. And Ram looked like a normal person crying for his wife, and it looks like that. But those who are devoted, they'll understand there's a Leela, there's a deeper thing if they follow Shastra. So it looks like money is required, cleaning, this is a dham, but it's not on that level. Externally it looks like that to keep materialists out. To properly understand and enter, one has to be chanting, one has to be in a spiritual mood. It's revealed, we'll go there, we'll feel devotion when we see everything. It's difficult to put in words. I don't know, I hope I answered you.
Okay, in the very least, if it is a portal, it should be a two-way thing, right? So why doesn't anything come from that side?
They come, but we will not see. As I said, in all the dhams, the form of God is fully manifest, but we cannot see. It's spiritual. Huh?
What's the use if we can't see, we can't...
Yeah, because we are material, because we want material things. If you want to see God, you have to be qualified. Okay, yeah, so he's not so vision manifest to you. Those who don't want to see, he's not seen. Those who want to see, he'll be seen. Okay, anyway, we'll discuss that at the end. Now this thing we are speaking about the dham is complex. I put some part. The rest on the yatra will speak much more. There are some, for example, dham aparad, some things like that. I'll explain. But for one on the path of bhakti, going on Tirth Yatra is a very important aspect. There are 9 forms of bhakti. Who can tell me at least 2, 3? Who attended sessions? 9 forms of bhakti. 1, Shravanam, hearing about God, and Kirtanam, glorifying. Okay. One more? What? No. Forms of bhakti. Other is Archanam, Pad Sevanam. Now one of them, Pad Sevanam, under there comes pilgrimage. It comes under there. Worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. So under there comes, included there is cleaning the holy places, cleaning his temple, and also visiting his dham. This is Pad Sevanam. So this is an aspect of bhakti. And there are people who go every year or twice a year to deepen their devotion. Okay. So, again, because many of you came new, can you just give a show of hands again? Who's coming on the yatra? Yeah, some more came. All right. So, specifically, we are going to 2 places. We are going to Jagannath Puri and Mayapur. Hope you remember the name. Navadvip Dham or Mayapur. So now I'm just going to discuss specifically about these places. Okay, I've taken things out of Skanda Purana and different books. Shri Jagannath Swami ki Jai. So this form of Jagannath is from Satya Yuga. Okay, now scientists will tell you other things, then Archaeological Survey of India will tell you their own things. And we know that Brahma established Jagannath in Satya Yuga, which is some 1.5, almost 2 million years ago, in the same place. And gradually the kings expanded it. So here resides Lord Jagannath. Jagannath is 2 words. Jagat Nath, Lord of the universe. He is none other than Lord Krishna, but is a special form of Lord Krishna. He is Lord Krishna who is in Dwaraka, but remembering Vrindavan. Therefore he has Sudarshan. In Vrindavan, Krishna doesn't have Sudarshan. He has Sudarshan, and he is known as Purushottam, Vishnu, this form, but we hear he's remembering about Vrindavan. Okay, now there's an explanation how this form came. Actually, this eternal form. So how does it manifest? It manifested once when from Vrindavan, Rohini is Balaram's mother, she came to Dwaraka. When she came, all the queens came to her, and they asked her that Krishna in his sleep, he's always saying Balaram, he's saying Radha, and calling names of different Gopas and Gopis and Yashoda, and he says it with such feeling. Who are these people? What was the Leela? What happened in Krishna's childhood? We want to know. So Rohini replied, I'll tell you, but we have to be careful, because if Krishna hears, he'll leave here, he'll go back there. So someone should guard the door. Who will guard? Subhadra, Krishna's sister. She'll guard. So she is guarding. So while she is guarding at the door, she heard the Leela. And hearing it, she went into great ecstasy, hearing about Krishna's Leela. So she took on that form. Have you seen Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra Maharani? She took that form. Her arms went in, eyes opened wide. She went in ecstasy, remembering Krishna Leela. So she could not check now who's coming or not. Then Balaram came. Balaram said, what happened? He also heard, he went in ecstasy. Then finally Krishna came, he went in ecstasy. This is the form. That happened. But it's eternal form. This is the form where Krishna is not in Vrindavan, but he's remembering Vrindavan. It is said to be much more merciful, that if you're praying to Jagannath, the result comes more. Why? Because he's so much thinking about his devotees that immediately he'll give the result. He'll become very happy. So Jagannath is supposed to be very merciful, and Srila Prabhupada, when he established ISKCON, he established Jagannath temples first, or in America and everywhere. He gave them proper standard to worship and everything, mantras, and then set it up so that they can be purified. So Jagannath Puri, there's a lot of stories and things associated. Okay, can't mention everything now, but just to tell you that this Dham is apparently located on the eastern shore of India, in Orissa. It looks like that, but none of these Dhams are in this material world, but it's manifesting there. And it said there, when Devatas, this is all from different Shastras we studied and so, when Devatas see the people who are living in the Dham, who are from there, they see them with 4 hands, Vishnu forms. The prasad of Jagannath is the most powerful prasad. It's mentioned there that supposing a dog eats and it falls from dog's mouth, you can take it, nothing will happen. Normally no one will eat from a dog's mouth. But they're saying this prasad is so powerful, it will transform anyone. Yes?
The Leela was performed in Dwarka, right? Then why Jagannath took his avatar in Puri?
Yeah, that is not connected. In Dwarka is Dwarkadish. That is the only form, and there's a Leela going on there. So those who like to see Krishna in this Aishwarya form, they appear there and they worship Krishna in that form. But this form, it manifested there, it also manifested in Kurukshetra. The mood is the same, where Krishna met Vrindavan Dham devotees, but he could not relate to them in the same way, because now he was a king. Yeah, that. Rath Yatra? It starts there. Yeah. So I know some of you maybe don't know this, I don't want to go too deep and confuse you. But the point, I'm trying to explain some things about Jagannath. The form of Jagannath was installed by Lord Brahma because of the desire of king in the Dhumna in Satya Yuga. And where it was set up originally, there was another deity called Neel Madhav. And there was a huge mountain. And there was a Vat, banyan tree. At the bottom there was Rohini, there was a Kund. So when Indradumna's representative came to find where is Neel Madhav, he got news there's a deity which by saying everyone gets liberated. He came to the same place where Jagannath Puri now. That time it was different yuga, everything was bigger. It was a big mountain, that Kund was very big. So when he approached, he saw a crow. The crow fell, entered the Rohini Kund and took a Vishnu form, got Mukti and went back to Vaikuntha. So he saw that, and that Akshay Vat was there, was a Vat. Today, the same Vat is there. It's smaller, and that mountain is the top where it's called Nilachal. The blue mountain where Jagannath is situated is much smaller. In Kali Yuga, everything is smaller. And Rohini Kund, which is so purifying that he saw a crow enter and get Mukti, it's disappeared. Now there's one dot, and you have to wait a few minutes, then water comes out, then the person, Pujari, will take the water and touch your head. Skanda Purana says, when Pralaya happens, the water will come from that Rohini Kund. It's one dot, but it will flood the universe. So, Jagannath Puri, we said that Jagannath is eternal. He's eternal form. There are different stories why he came, why he appeared. I'll tell you another. Yes?
Was the temple, is the infrastructure from Satyuga, was it rebuilt?
Okay, so the question is that the infrastructure from Satyuga, so I'll explain. The first altar, that is from Satya Yuga. You'll see big stones, huge boulders. Just outside was built by another king, outside, then the courtyard, everything was built subsequently as time came. But the original structure immediately around the deity, known as Garbhagriha, that is by Brahma. And even the form of worship was set by Brahma. It's going on since that time. Okay, there's another, you see, what is Jagannath known for? Jagannath Puri, the Prasad. So there's even a narration in Chaitanya Mangala, one Shastra. There it's mentioned that once Narad Muni came to Vaikuntha, just because he is fully liberated, he can enter. And Lakshmi gave him a benediction, whatever you want, you can ask. He said, I want the prasad of Vishnu. He said, no, that's not possible. Can you ask for something else? I cannot give it to you. I'm not supposed to. He said not to give anyone. He said, no, that's what I want, that's all. You asked for benediction, this is what I want. So then she was very disturbed what to do. So she was very disturbed. Then later Vishnu, he asked her, what is the matter, you're looking disturbed. Then she said that, she told him what happened. Narad Muni is asking. He said, okay, look, tomorrow I'm going to eat and I leave a little grain and I'll pretend not to look and you give it to him. So then that's what happened. So she gave it to him. And he went in ecstasy. He had the prasad. He went very wild. He started dancing and playing his veena all over the universe. And after some time, Lord Shiva saw him and asked him what happened and told him what happened. So did you leave any for me? No, I didn't. Can you check your hand? No, I didn't, I'm sorry. Can you just check? He checked, then he took the hand, he checked between the nail, he found one grain. He ate that grain and he also entered ecstasy. And he started to dance and dance and dance, and then the universe started to, the pralaya, all the things started for the universal destruction. So everyone got afraid. They called Parvati, please can you come and just approach Shiva, because we cannot control him and he's going out of hand and pralaya is starting. He's dancing, dance of destruction, Tandava Nritya. So then she came and asked him, I have never seen you like this, what happened? So then he told her what happened. She said, did you leave any for me? No, I didn't, sorry. So she got very upset. Then she went to Vishnu. She said, I am Durga Devi, I am Maya Devi, and my job is to punish people who forget you. This is a very difficult task, and it's very hard, but I do it. I'm doing it as a service, and now I didn't get your prasad. And she was really, very upset. Then Vishnu said, I'm going to descend in this material world. I'll take a form. And she said, okay. He said, okay, let it be. I shall give you my prasad. She said, not only me, all the suffering souls of the material world. She's known as Mother Nature. She's keeping the souls here, providing for them, and with the aim that they get liberated. So she said, not only me, all the souls of the material world should be able to get your prasad and get the benefit. He said, Tathastu, let it be, fine. I will do that. I will descend on this earth in a form where everyone can get my prasad. And he said, but you will get it first. So now in Jagannath Puri, there's a deity of Bimala Devi. That is none other than Durga. So Bimala Devi, she's there, and when the prasad, the bhog comes, it comes to Lord Jagannath, then it goes to Bimala Devi, then it goes to everyone. So now in Shastra it's mentioned, the prasad of Jagannath is so powerful that even by taking it, one gets, in a proper consciousness, one gets liberated. But our faith is lacking, and so we, maybe not once, we have to take it many times. So lots of narrations like that about Jagannath Puri. We'll discuss when we go there. But a few more things I'll explain. There are different ways that Lord Jagannath liberates us. Okay, it's explained here in Skanda Purana that by honoring Mahaprasad of Jagannath we can get liberated. By visiting his abode, just walking there, by chanting holy names of Jagannath, by residing in his Dham, by seeing his darshan, and by dying. Anybody who dies in the Dham, any Dham, doesn't take birth again. So there are many names of Jagannath Puri. Jagannath Puri is one. Who can tell me other names? Who said? Purushottam Kshetra, okay. Another name? No, other. Let's have someone else say. Huh? Shri Kshetra. Shri Kshetra means that Shri Devi's place of residence. Okay, another name? There's so many names here. Okay, it's also known as Shankha Kshetra. I'll show you why. It's in that shape. Okay, it's known as Nilachal Dham because now we can see some little hill. Before it was a huge hill which everyone used to climb up and see Nil Madhav, Jagannath. Now in Kali it's become small. But it was a blue hill, Nilachal Dham.
Nil Madhav is there currently.
Nil Madhav is not there.
He is taken from the Jagannath.
Yeah, he disappeared. Then another form came of Jagannath. In Satyayug, Nil Madhav left. Actually, there is also a story for that. Nil Madhav, anyone who saw him got liberated. So then, once Yamaraj came and told Lakshmi, if everyone comes, what will I do? There's a story. If everyone gets liberated, I can't punish anyone. And people have to be punished for their wrong. So then he left. There's some story. Okay, Dashavatar Kshetra. All Dashavatars first appear here, then go to the place of Leela. So it's known as Dashavatar Kshetra. Also, Bhauma Vaikuntha. Kapila Samhita says that Jagannath Puri is a direct replica of Vaikuntha, Sakshat Vaikuntha Rupam. So it's known as Bhauma Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha on earth, and the best of the Tirthas and Rupas. It's also known as Narasimha Kshetra because Padma Purana says that when Jagannath was being installed by Lord Brahma and Andyadhyumna was sitting there, then what happened? Narasimhadev appeared from the Yajna Kund and everyone got afraid. So they installed the Narasimha deity that appeared near Gundicha temple, little further in the same Dham. And he came first.
It is also there.
Still there. We'll also see that. Okay, it's also known as Bhuswarga. Skanda Purana says Puri is known as Bhuswarga, heaven on earth. Brahma Puran says it's really, even Devatas come for darshan because they want to get liberated. They are not liberated. So they come, and the pujaris tell us Indra came once. He was hid in a hidden form. He took prasad and started leaving. He didn't have money. We are meant to pay. Then the pandas ran after him. You have to pay, you have to pay. Then he kept walking. Then they ran after him till a certain place. Then he turned around. He said, I'm Indra. Why are you asking me for money? If you're Indra, make it rain. Then he made it rain. He said, I'm giving you the benediction that you can make it rain whenever you want. And Panda, one of them. So the place that he disappeared is called now today Swarga Dwar. Exact place. Everyone comes to burn, cremate there. And that person who could make rain, he went to the ruler, Prataparudra. He told him, this is what happened. He said, okay, make rain. He did it. And as long as he was alive, he could do it. So this narration is there. Even demigods are coming. They come in human form. We can't recognize. So Brahma Puran states by bathing in any one of the 5 sacred places, one gets liberation. There's a list. All this we'll discuss in more detail. The sea surrounding Jagannath Puri is a holy place also. So many people take bath, but many people attain mukti there. It's very powerful current. Almost every day people die. So we'll just go to the waste. People are there watching live God. This picture you saw at the beginning shows that Jagannath Puri is in the shape of a shank. So it's known as Shank Kshetra. And surrounding there are some other holy places which are in Chakra, Gada, Padma, like that. So this is the shape. At the bottom is the sea, in the middle is the temple, and you can see other holy places. Therefore it's known as Shankak Kshetra. So Jagannath Puri, a lot is there to say. We'll discuss on Yatra. Now we're looking at the other place we're going, Navadvip Dham. Navadvip is also known as Mayapur. Maya means many things, can mean illusion, but Maya means mercy also and energy. So this context, it means place of mercy, Mayapur. Navadvip is the place where this Yuga avatar, for this Yuga, descended, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he descended, he has a Dham. That Dham came. This is known as Navadvip. So in few 500 years ago, just over 500 years ago, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and he did many pastimes and leelas there. Then he spread that Hare Krishna mantra and it's going on now. The Dham takes on the mood of the avatar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as Namo Mahavadanyaya avatar. He's most merciful. That means even if someone is very sinful and not qualified, he can approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and get spiritual benefit. So for Kali Yuga, that is a great benediction for us. There's one Maharaj in ISKCON said, Jagannath, Lord Jagannath is 80% merciful, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is 90%. They are both merciful, but Mahaprabhu is the most merciful. So because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he doesn't see the aparadha and offenses too much. He just tries to advance whoever comes to him. So it's recommended everyone should worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting Hare Krishna and the Panchatattva mantra. We'll discuss that just after this. This is recommended. So because the Dham takes on the mood of the avatar, Mayapur Dham is very merciful. Anybody goes, even there's something called Dham Aparadha. Okay, I won't go into that now, but whoever comes on our Yatra will discuss more about it. But that Dham Aparadha is even not so much considered. Whatever wrong we do is not considered, but rather whoever goes gets much more spiritual and is able to advance in spirituality, because this Dham mood is same as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who appeared. Currently, ISKCON is, you can say, main propagator of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. It's taking the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and has done a big job to spread it. Mahaprabhu said that will happen, it should happen. And headquarters of ISKCON are in Mayapur. So, when we speak about Mayapur, there are many holy places. But ISKCON temple is a huge area. They have 500-acre land. but around 300 acres is constructed. Huge accommodation, prasadam facilities, and a way that we can go and see all the holy places. And Ganga comes there. Ganga there, it's mentioned Mahaprabhu in one of the scriptures that Ganga comes very fast in Haridwar and Rishikesh if you've been there. The current is very fast. So it says in that Samhita, it's because she's rushing to come to Mayapur. So she can touch Mahaprabhu's feet. And what happens after they build the temple, every year Ganga used to rise up very high till the altar is 8 feet. She used to touch the feet and then come down every year. Now, as soon as they started to build the new temple, then it stopped. They stopped. So as I said, ISKCON headquarters is there. So when we talk about Mayapur, a lot of things happen in that temple. So many programs and lectures, but of course other surrounding, so many things are there. So why is it called Navadvip? It's made of 9 islands. Okay, but not island like we see, like, this Hawaii, another island, Hawaii, or like Sri Lanka. It's because Ganga there goes around like this and forms islands, 9 islands, surrounding the whole area. So therefore it's called Navadvip, 9 islands. Each of them are significant. Different leelas happen on each of these islands. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was a hidden avatar. Many people didn't know him. Right now if I say, for example, Narasimha, Ram, everyone knows Narasimha, Ram avatar, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no one knew. He was hidden because he came for a specific purpose. So because he was hidden, even his Dham was hidden. And actually, it was mentioned when he came, his associate Balaram, Nityananda's who took form, he said after Mahaprabhu goes, 100 years, Ganga will cover everything, there will be nothing. Then after that, slowly it will come down, then people will find out. And again, a big and Adbhut Mandir, he said one great temple will come from which preaching will spread all over the world. So now if you go to ISKCON, everybody is saying that the temple is coming now is that temple that was predicted. There's a huge temple being built now in Mayapur, which is famous all over the world. So that temple was predicted. Navadvip Dham is same as Vrindavan. Shastra tells us Vrindavan Dham is the highest place. But it's hard for us to enter Vrindavan. It's difficult. I mean, we'll go with a ticket, train ticket, I'll enter. But I'll not be able to see and experience it. Because the adhikar is required. But Navadvip, it says, Shri Goda Mandala Bhumi Jeva Jane Chintamani Tara Hoy Braja Bhumi Bas. If anyone understands, there is no difference between Goda Mandala, Navadvip, and Vrindavan, then he can attain Vrindavan. It's non-different. It is Vrindavan, but it came in a different form that we can easily advance. In Kali Yuga, there's a quote here, Navadvip is the crest jewel of all holy places. In other places of pilgrimage, an offender is punished like Vrindavan. But in Navadvip, the offender is not only forgiven, he is purified and given love of God. So, many mentions are there. Okay, there's now a very important point. It's related to the question he asked. It says, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of our acharyas, in his great work titled Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, says, by going to Jagannath Puri or Navadvip, we may be confused to hear cinema songs or see things which we may not expect from the holy people. Or we may see something like this is a material place. There I'm seeing Hindustan Petroleum everywhere. Here is the, and DTDC is here, India Post. This is India. It's normal village. We may think like that. Okay? But Navadvip Dham Mahatmya says this. Since no material thing or person is ever situated in Navadvip, a film means covering of dull matter has been spread over it to keep it covered from materialists. The people who have no relationship with Lord Chaitanya or Lord Jagannath or Krishna simply live on that covering, blind to the real truth. They may think I'm in the Dham, but they are not. It's written. Though one is thinking I'm in Navadvip or Jagannath Puri or Vrindavan, Maya or illusion happily keeps Navadip far away from that person. So this is something that, you see, when we're entering Dham, it's important, these things. So then the one who helps you enter the Dham, he'll explain that, and the consciousness is proper. Navadip cannot be reached simply by buying a ticket and going there. It is a transcendental place where Lord Chaitanya eternally resides, just as Krishna resides in Vrindavan. Pure devotees see Lord Chaitanya in Navadip today chanting and dancing. Even now, all of these dhams, Ram Leelas continue in Ayodhya, in Vrindavan, Krishna Nitya Leela is going on, and in Navadip, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there. It's written in many songs and places. So even today, these pastimes are going on. Okay, so that is mention of Jagannath Puri and Mayapur. Okay, now I'll show you a map here. Actually, this is the form of Navadip. Navadip in Shastra says that it's like a lotus shape. This is the shape of Navadip. 9 islands. Okay, fine.
Oh, Vrindavan is also like lotus.
Yeah, Vrindavan also.
Mayapur and Vrindavan is.
Yeah, it's the same in a different form. Okay, now just one more point and we'll end here and you can ask questions. The point I want to ask, now this is meant for those who are coming on this yatra, okay? Spiritual absorption during the yatra. You see, the whole plan of a yatra is, some of you, because we had many sessions this year, this semester, okay? Now we are ending, of course many of you are coming back, some who are finishing are leaving. So the whole point was, people take up a spiritual life, okay? So when one becomes spiritualized, they experience real peace, happiness, and eventually they can realize God. So what we want to recommend, those who are coming, this is a recommendation, it's up to you, okay? That whoever's coming, we can chant. Now some of you may not have chanted before. That we'll show you on the train. Because every morning we'll be attending Mangalarti, okay? And we will be having a lot of, we will provide meals, it will be all prasadam from the temples. At least for this time we'll not eat out, because when we eat food cooked by non-devotees, actually it deepens our karma. But for this time it will be very effective if you just take prasad, okay? If many of you told me you want to try very Dhoti Kurta, so those who want, you contact us, okay? We'll show you. We'll be rising early, attending Mangalarti. So it's only 4 days, 4 or 5 days. In this time, we can absorb fully and it will be a lifelong benefit experience. Some of you who want, you continue practicing some of these things. Okay, you may be habituated to watching some material movies or hear songs. So just for these 5 days, we keep a devotional mood. Don't worry, we'll be doing a lot of singing. You will not have time to touch your phone. We'll be singing, doing harinams, walking on the, in the temples. We'll just go everywhere with Mridanga, Kartal, singing. Everyone does that. That is a Dham. Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, okay. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Mayapur Dham ki. Okay, waiting for question. Okay, one important point. Anyone who changed their mind that we want to come on Yatra, contact Abiru. Okay? Last minute, 2 slots are there. Okay? Yeah. Question. Yeah, question. And then you are next.
For the persons who are living on the film of Dham,
yeah.
should we consider them Dhamvasi or not?
Should we consider people living on the film or on the layer but not entering the Dham? Should we consider them Dhamvasi? It's recommended to respect everyone. Just, we don't know.
No, as a Dhamvasi.
No, but we cannot tell. We cannot tell. We cannot tell who is the person whose consciousness. We may look like he's angry and everything, but he's actually full of devotion.
Like a person who sells meat in Dham.
Yeah. Well, see.
Or.
Of course, that's not good. That's not good. Okay. But it's mentioned even a mosquito entering Dham did not enter without permission. So those who come into sin, they will suffer, but they are not. Everyone who entered, there is some level of piety, even if they are sinful. Just like in Krishna Lila, you see some who are not his devotees also. They were also there. But anyone who came in contact somehow are Benedictine. Yeah, but of course we won't treat them like devotees. You want to ask question? You can read it. Yeah.
My house is around 15 minutes away from Jagannath.
Okay.
And I've seen a lot of people like the Pandits and the Brahmins who are worshipping inside the Jagannath. They used to consume meat.
Yeah, even Prabhupada said that. In Prabhupada's life story, he went to a house of one of the Pandas and they were eating meat.
So, if you are saying that those people who are living there, God is giving the permission, that's why you can enter the temple or premises, that Dham. So, why these people are eating non-veg? Is eating non-veg allowed?
You see, in the temple of Jagannath, most are eating fish.
Yeah, exactly.
Pujaris.
Exactly.
But Jagannath is powerful. He can throw them out, he can keep them, and he is deciding. In the beginning, the people who were worshipping were forest dwellers. You know that? He was worshipped in the forest by what are they called? Shabaris. They were from the forest. They were not following rules, regulations. Now they're following something better. But even now, a lot of things they don't observe, like in a proper temple.
Like I've seen the Brahmins spitting inside the temple. And if you will enter the Jagannath temple, just see your left and the right side, you will be seeing all the spit of the path.
Yeah, yes. You see, we can't understand plan of God. You see, Srila Prabhupada himself went there. He said it, that I entered and one of the Pandit, Pujaris invited me to his house and I was eating and I saw something. What is this? This is meat. I don't eat meat. I didn't expect you to eat meat. He was shocked. That is there.
But then why it is there? If it is the same, these dhams are also in spiritual world. So it's part of spiritual
no, but this is your conception. You see, what is our conception? How it should be, what it should be. We can't understand who Jagannath wants to favor, how he wants to do. We will follow his instruction, whatever he says. We will follow it. But for example, Ramanujacharya, he came to Jagannath Puri. It's mentioned in our Shastras. He came there, severely chastised everyone and put standards and everyone respected him. Then he went to sleep at night. Jagannath came in a dream. It said like this in our Shastra and said that why are you interfering and why are you disturbing my devotees, and slapped him, and he woke up in Kurma Kshetra. He was saying don't do this, don't do that, and then he understood, okay, Jagannath wants to be, these people are dear. Now our idea is, of course we should not eat this, we are following our Shastras. And any temple that ISKCON takes over, for example, there's a temple called Rajapur, which is in Mayapur, which is non-different from Puri. There, the standards have been put very strictly. But you see, Jagannath can do what he wants. He can even bring a flood and wipe out everyone, if he wants. So his temple is there, and he comes regularly in people's dream. He comes in the dream of the pujari, tells him, he'll stop this person, let him enter, and things like that. So we have our way of thinking, but he's there, he's independent, he can do what he wants.
So I have seen that, what you told that he comes in the dreams of the pujari,
Yeah.
he thinks, like stop this person, he is not.
Yeah.
I have seen that.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
For example, I don't know examples. Huh?
Indian political parties and leader, they doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He stops people and he asks others to come.
Yeah.
This happens. So he is fully present, he is independent.
So he wants people he loves people to eat something.
No. The instructions of what he likes are in Gita, because that is Krishna. Our philosophy is we follow what he says, we won't imitate. Also, something is a kind of leela, we won't understand what's going on. Supreme Lord and the devotees, Arsha Vigya Bhaka, Nahi Doshesa. We cannot fully understand Krishna's plan, how he is. Why he was in the forest being worshipped by people who are hunters and killers. Who knows? It's difficult to understand. But people go, they get purified, they get liberated, they advance. Okay, next question. You want to repeat your question?
Doesn't matter.
Or the moment passed? Huh? Moment passed. Let me try to remember your question. Do you remember his question?
Yeah, the question had begin with your first point that the reason for Dham's existence is because we are chasing behind the perfect world which already exists.
Okay.
Which I countered.
No, that's not the reason for the Dham. What I said was that many people are searching for a utopia, perfect place, everything is good, no suffering, and people want this, and they're trying to create even in this world. Okay, so I said that this is due to the fact that they have experience of such a place where they were before, and that is actually the kingdom of God, where we were before in Vaikuntha. Everything was perfect, and we feel out of place here, so we are looking for a perfect place. And you are saying no, so why not?
Because
You're saying because of curiosity. Actually, curiosity. I mean, people are so motivated. You know, when you're curious, you'll not go so deep and research something. You maybe will do a little research.
you can't underestimate human curiosity.
Yeah. And we can't underestimate his search for perfection. Yes. Okay. Any other question? Yeah.
How do we define the border of
Border of the Dham. For example, Vrindavan, in certain Shastra is given, like Harivamsha, it explains the dimensions. It shows, actually, like if you're driving from Delhi, there's a place called Kosi, I think, which is the border. But it's mentioned also in the same Shastra that actually the Dham is unlimited, but it's taken a form that we can perceive and walk and see. But Dham is unlimited. So, that's mentioned in the Shastra. How can you put unlimited in limited? You can't. So it's just taken a form, but we should understand this is not the limit. Okay, so just to repeat that this Yatra is happening on 9th. Okay. Today is our last session, Sunday program. A lot of you have exams and others didn't come because of exams. So it was great, everyone attended. Okay. Now next semester will continue and everyone's welcome in July. Okay. Now in this trip we are going to have this Yatra. Okay. Anyone else who wants to join this Yatra, Jagannath in Mayapur, let us know. Okay. And even while you're at home, you can try to read the books. Many of you took books, you can continue chanting. And we'll have online sessions, you can join them, be in touch. Okay, and I think you'll be in the group as well, so you can ask any question. Okay, Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here. Okay.
Pandas who are eating meat and worshipping Jagannath, they are getting more mercy than we are getting.
I don't know, maybe we'll get more. We don't know. I don't know how it works.
But we are getting the seva.
Yeah, that's true. What? Okay. Say 15 minutes.
We have Kirtan for some time and then we have Prasad.